Sometimes the smallest voices say the biggest truths. A couple of days ago, my 6-year-old daughter told her aunt something so astonishingly mature, it left me speechless. For a little background, my sister has always been a career woman, and she's very successful. The problem has always been her ego. Every time we met up, she found a way to brag about her life. When she showed up at my wedding, she spent the entire evening telling anyone who would listen how it was a shame I had settled down when I had a bright career ahead, and how she was spending her money on better things like travel and investments. After hearing all that, I cried quietly after the reception. My husband held me and reminded me that everyone walks a different path, and not to let her silly comparisons poison my happiness. Over the years, I worked hard not to let her bragging get under my skin. It got easier, but recently, she found a new target, my daughter. At the most recent family gathering, I was holding my daughter while introducing her to all her aunts and uncles. She was shy at first, clinging to me, but soon she warmed up, especially when she found herself in the safe arms of her grandparents. For a while, everything was fine. My sister hadn't arrived yet, so I let my guard down a little. Midway through the party, the doorbell rang, and like a tornado, my sister burst in, shouting, "Hello everyone! The diva is here!" She paraded through the house, loudly greeting everyone while flashing her new Birkin bag and showing off her sparkling jewelry. I exchanged a glance with my husband, and we both immediately started scanning the room for our daughter. But before we could reach her, she ran right into my sister, mistaking her for me. My sister grinned like she had just found a prize, scooping her up before we could intervene. She held up her hand and said, "I got it, don't worry. I just want to look at the little money grubber." She pinched my daughter's nose and said, "Hello, I'm your fabulous aunt. Has your mom ever talked about me?" My daughter shook her head and kept playing with her hair gently. "Well, I'm sure she hasn't, because mommy's jealous and wants to stop you from liking me more, just like everyone else," she said, shooting me a smug little side-eye. I tensed up, but my husband wrapped his arm around me, whispering, in one ear and out the other. But my sister wasn't done. She leaned closer and said, "Don't you want to be rich like Auntie? Then you can get anything you want." My daughter paused, clearly thinking, her little fingers still twirling her hair. Then, in the calmest, sweetest voice, she said, "No, I don't want to be rich. I want to be happy." The room went silent. My sister stared at her, stunned. She frowned and tried again. "Being rich will make you happy." My daughter shrugged and replied, just as calmly, "No, it won't." Then she wiggled out of my sister's arms and ran off to play with her cousins, carefree as ever. I felt this overwhelming rush of emotions, pride above all. My sister rolled her eyes and turned to me, looking completely offended. "You're teaching her all the wrong things. How will she ever be successful?" she snapped. I smiled, feeling lighter than I had in years, and said, "I didn't teach her that. She learned it on her own, but she's definitely right." Then I walked away before she could add anything more.